Hey friends, so this is a review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 7. And someone is calling me, and it said spam. All right, let me ignore this real quick. It's super annoying. Yo, no one ever calls me, but I'm doing something random. There's like someone... Fuck. So let's try this again. No, one of my friends called me. I was just like, oh my God. All right, so this is the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Ooh, child. All right, so this is a review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 7. All right, so then, no, that's when Angie hired a bunny and, well, a person in a bunny costume. And then from there, that's when the bunny was just delivering just like cute, like Easter baskets / like invitations for her Greek Easter brunch. And I just thought it was like such a cute idea. Like it reminded me so much of how, like, you know, back in the day when Real Housewives would have like creative ways to like send out invites. So cute. I love the idea. So then from there, that's when we traveled to Whitney and her husband. They had their first date night in a year. And, you know, Whitney was just basically upset because she was just like, she was cooking bacon. The kids were going back and forth with like typical kids do. Her man was sitting on a couch on Instagram, probably looking at BBLs, big booty models, you know what I mean? And then the dog pissed on the couch. So then she was just like, yo, like, I don't understand what's going on here. Like, I feel like I'm drowning. Like, I have to do so much. And I'm just like, girl, you're a mom and a wife. Like, you either hire some help, because the fact that you're going back and forth about just like being a wife and just asking for more, and then they kind of like led into another argument that they had where she took off her wedding ring and he took his off and put it on the dresser, and she was like very upset and they were arguing and everything else. That kind of reminded me, I don't know, I just thought to myself like, okay, I don't think it's the fact that him going back to work is an issue. Yeah, maybe because she's not used to the dynamic and everything else and things are changing. But I also think it has to do with like him putting himself out there and potentially finding another woman. finding another Whitney, because I mean, let's be real, like allegedly, wasn't Whitney kind of like the side situation before he like ended his first marriage and then got with her? I don't know if she's like kind of like feeling it in a sense, but yeah, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you want more help, okay, you want more help from your husband, all right, cool, I get it. But if you feel like certain needs aren't met, like, why don't you hire someone? You guys have the money to hire a nanny. If that doesn't work out, then what to do? But she said she was very, very hurt about just him leaving that ring on the drawer while he went to work. And maybe that just triggered some things in the past. I don't know. But also, this could all be just for a storyline. They're probably good. Their relationship is probably, everything else is good. They just needed something to talk about. So it could be one of those options, but I don't know. I just see like their marriage, and I don't want to like wish things on people or whatever, but it's giving like how they first started. They were so like, you know, all about themselves. They were in love. He was pretty much the breadwinner, and then now things has changed, and Whitney is doing whatever she does and whatever business she does. Like, I'm not quite sure, but she wants to be more of a boss, and she wants help around the house from her husband. And since that he's not giving that, and he's leaving his wedding ring on the dresser, then she's just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. Comment and let me know below, like, what do you guys think of just like that relationship and dynamic? So then Lisa and Angie meet up to make candles. And honestly, this is something I would love to do. I love candles. And so just making one, why not? Like, I feel like that would be such a cute date idea. a girls' night out, like that would just be like fun, and then grab drinks afterwards or dinner or whatever the case may be. Like that's such a cute date. So then they make candles, and then this random person, let me not say random, this girl that works at the candle shop, she's like, hey, are you Jax Barlow's mom? She's like, yes. She's like, oh my God, I'm really good friends with him. She's like, okay, rather just say, oh, okay, what's your name? Like, how long you guys been friends? Like, I've never seen you before. She says, do you know that he's going on his mission? Did you know before me? And so then she was like, yes. And then she was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm definitely not winning Mom of the Year award. And it's like, okay, Lisa, it's okay. Like, you all right, you're good. And so then after that, that's when the girl was like, okay, enjoy your experience. And then, you know, production was like, cut. All right, here you go. Here's your $15 Starbucks gift card. Thank you for everything. Have a good one. And so they carry on and make these candles. And then Lisa talks about just like Monica and pretty much saying like, I understand that you not inviting Meredith to your brunch, but Monica is not innocent either, because low-key she brought this to the camera. She basically spread this rumor around everyone, and she basically said that she heard this rumor not from Meredith but from the Salt Lake City streets. And so then Angie is kind of like listening to what Lisa has to say and was just like, you know what, you're kind of right there, because if I was her friend and I've heard a rumor like that, if she had a husband, then I would handle that situation differently. And honestly, I would have to agree, because if that was a close friend of mine, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, you ain't hear about the rumor? Oh yeah, the rumor is X, Y, and Z. Oh, the rumor is this, and that. Oh, the rumor is this, and that. But then Monica's the type of person, she's like, oh, well, I told you in front of your face, and so that's how real I am. It's like, no, girl, it's all about delivery. It's all about how you present it. And it's just giving that you want to carry on and just have your place in this show, which is understandable, but the way that you're moving is not really a good friend, honestly, no. And even if they're not like really friends in real life or whatever the case may be, just fake it, just act like it. And we get to Mary. Oh, Mary. Mary is like with her son, sitting in their living room area. Mary's home is, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, okay? That's all I have to say. There's just a lot going on. So, Mary sits down with her son and she's just like, so what do I hear about that you're married? And he's like, ha ha ha. And then she's like, so are you married? And he was like, yeah, kinda, sort of, yes, no, maybe so. And Mary's just like, why didn't you tell me? Like, and he's just like, I don't know. And I'm just looking at him like, is he camera shy? Is he like, is the elevator not quite up to the rooftop yet? Like, something is up with him. I don't know. I was like, is he on the spectrum? Like, just his reaction and everything else, or is he just naturally kind of like goofy or whatever? I don't know. It was just weird. It's like, if you're gonna get married and have this, also that Mary mentioned in her confessional, side note, her confessional was very, very beautiful. She mentioned in her confessional that like they both live with her in her home, but they live in a separate wing. And I was like, okay, that's nice. But then she said one day they were like all dressed up and they were rushing to leave. So Mary, you know, mentioned to her son, like, I understand now you're married, but like, you don't have to keep secrets away from me. Like, you're my only son and I love you and I care about you. Don't do this again. And side note, I'm not supporting her. Thanks. And so then after that, that's when her son was just like, okay, mom, it's okay. Like, I think she wanted it to be kind of like a heartfelt moment, but it was just like, her son was just so awkward and so vague with his answers that we're just looking at him like, are you okay? Like, is there something going on here that we don't know about? Like, you know? So then Heather FaceTimes her daughter. And of course, again, her daughter and Heather, they basically talk about just like Jack's mission. And honestly, okay, Heather, now it's giving like you just want a storyline and you have nothing else to talk about. She's like, well, I wrote this book. I don't understand like why Lisa hasn't asked me about it or anything else. And the daughter was just like, well, I just came back from Mexico, finished shaking my ass and taking like loads of tequila shots. So yeah, Mom, it is crazy. But then she's like, also like, even though Heather is just basically saying like she doesn't want, you know, him to like, just like kind of like know the ins and outs of the mission and everything else, you're also passing judgment on him. We don't know his journey. We don't know his beliefs. We don't know what made him come to the decision to join a mission. So for Heather just to have that, like very much like that stereotype of just like on Jax, and it's just based off like what his mother does and everything else. Like we don't know his journey. So it's not even Heather's place to say anything. So I don't know, at this point, it's just like, girl, like, okay, we get it, you're concerned, X, Y, and Z, you had your experience, but let him have his, and just leave it at that, because I'm really, really tired of you, Heather, going on different scenes, talking about Jack's mission, but you're not even, you know what I'm saying, like, do you even have that relationship with him to even like, could he reach out to you? Could he call you and be like, hey, Heather, I know you went on a mission in the past. Can you give me some advice? No. So he didn't do that, right? So it's like your opinion. Yeah, well, it's great to hear, but it's like irrelevant at this point. Like he's still going to do it. He's still going to make his own decision, you know? Like beating a dead horse. So then Mary invites Meredith to her home. You know, they had a beautiful spread. I was looking at it. I was like, everything looks so good. They had some spread and champagne. And so then that's when Mary mentioned like, hey, did you see the bunny, the rabbit? Like, yeah, I got an invite to Angie's Easter Greek brunch. And so then Meredith was like, well, I'm not going. And I'm glad I'm not going because I am going to the GLAAD Awards, and so that's way more important. And then Mary was just like, well, if you're not going, then I'm not going. And I'm not surprised because we have to think about it. Mary, she lost trust in these women, especially how Jenny was acting last season. Like, did we forget? Jenny was like she was attacking Mary. Okay, say what you want, but she was literally attacking Mary. And then when it come to find out that Jenny was like a racist and going through all that things and no one had like Mary's back, she's feel a way about it. The only person that probably like reached out to her and was just like came to like Mary's defense was Meredith. So of course she's not gonna feel with these ladies. Of course she's not gonna feel safe with them. I mean, she doesn't have really like any beef with Angie or Monica because, you know, she really doesn't know them. But like these other ladies, she's not gonna sit here and be fake and phony. So I can understand that, but maybe that's why she's a friend to the show and not like a main cast. So now we go to Angie's Easter lunch. And Father George came, and Father George is a very, 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 very handsome man. That is a handsome priest. I was like, okay, Father George. Oh, man. I was like, girl, that's your priest? Like, what? Whew. All right, but the decor and everything else was beautiful. Say what you want about Angie. The decor, like the stack of money, the food, the cake, everything was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm so glad that like we have experienced a housewife that knows how to plan a party. Because all these other ladies in the past in the franchise, their events been very, very lackluster. But not this one. This one was very, very nice. They had the lamb over there cooking by the patio. Like, it was just nice. It was beautiful. I loved it. I can't even hate on her for that. Like, yeah, she could be annoying, but she knows how to throw a party. I'll give her that. She knows how to throw a party. And so then all the ladies come in, and Father George, I literally put on my notes, Father George is so handsome, exclamation point. Ooh, child, the thirst is real. The thirst is real. So, everyone comes in. We see all the families. Like, the ladies came in with their husbands and children. And so it was so nice to see them. The interaction, the food, everything was great. So during that time, that's when Heather and Lisa talked, and they talked about like the mission and everything else. And then, of course, like, Lisa was just like, okay, Heather, you're so focused on being like a bad Mormon, but I want my son to be a good Mormon, okay? So let's just end it at that. Basically saying, you have no business talking about my son and his journey with the Lord, period. You know what I mean? And so then Heather's just like, well, how come you didn't read my book? And it's like, Heather, what is it? Like, what's going on? Like, is it about the mission? Is it about the fact that she didn't read your book? Like, what's going on here? Or are you just looking for a storyline? Or maybe it's all the above. But honestly, it's getting old. So then Angie pulls Monica to the side. It was just like, hey girl, can we talk? So they talk. Pulls Monica to the side. It was just like, girl, I was really hurt about like the rumor and everything else and all the things that you told other people. And like, if you're really my friend, you wouldn't have done this. So then Monica's like, girl, why are you getting so upset? I told you to your face and behind your back, so that makes me a good friend. And yeah, you told her to her face, but you could have did it differently. You could have done it differently. Like, you could have pulled her to the side. You didn't have to tell Whitney, like first tell Whitney and everything. It was just messy, okay? But in Monica's head, it's just like, well, I'm a real ass bitch because I told you to your face versus the other girls. Like, they'll just tell you all that shit behind your back. And Angie's like, girl, I'm hurt because you're talking about my family and you said it on camera. They're going back and forth, agree to disagree, and then LB. Right? No, LD. Monica's mom. Monica's mom comes in and is just like, hey, ladies, like, you know, we have Greek and we have Portuguese. We're both passionate people. Like, needless to say, like, just squash this here. This is not the time or place, right? Angie's like, okay, cool. Like, I get it. This is not the time or place. We'll talk about this another time. And then Monica was like, no, F that, because you're going to bring it up again and again and again. So then that's when Angie gets up and leaves. And Monica lashes out on her mom. She's just like, no, you're not going to do this to me. Stop trying to butt in and then try to make me look like the bad person. So then she ends up like cursing and doing all this other stuff at the party, right? And her mom is just like, girl, let's just go to the bathroom. Let's breathe. Let's calm down. And she's like, no, I don't want to calm down because Monica has a temper. While she's doing this, she's making a scene. Okay? She's making a scene and everyone is just like, oh my God, I can't believe she talked to her mom that way. I would never talk to my mom that way. And while like this was going on, I was on X and I was just like seeing so many different like mixed reviews. Everyone is just saying, yo, Monica's mom ain't shit. She ain't this, she ain't that. And it's just like, oh, Monica is really annoying or whatever. I just feel like that Monica, okay, before I say all that. They started throwing money and everything else. Monica's in the side by herself, pouting, looking at everyone, having a great time without her. After the mom finished getting her shower, she walks over to Monica, was just like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, why are you sitting here alone? You know I still love you. And Monica flips on her and says that, you know what? I'm just over this. You could find your own ride home. So then she leaves. She tells the girls to let's go, let's leave. She leaves her mom at the party. And then at the end of her confessional, she said she wished she would have a better mom. All right. I feel like Monica and her mom just have issues. They have deep-rooted issues that is beyond us. Maybe Monica feels triggered that she feels like her mom is always taking the other person's side. Like, didn't she mention that her mom always have like different men around for better opportunities, despite the fact that how her daughter was feeling? It could be that, you know what I mean? It could be whatever. But the fact that Monica sat here on camera, said she wished she had a better mom and all that stuff, I feel like that is flat out disrespectful. We cannot choose our families, you know what I mean? Your mom is your mom. If you really felt strongly that way, then why did you bring her to the show? First of all, Monica, why are you in this show? I mentioned this in the other episodes, like, girl, why are you in this? Your coin is not matched to these other ladies. So you being on this show, I'm still confused on why you in here. But needless to say, the way that, should Monica talk to her mom like that? No, because her mom was embarrassed. She was at a party. She was embarrassed. She was like, why does my daughter have to be the loudmouth in this situation? Why does she have to be the one that's always getting into arguments? I don't know if this is something that Monica's used to doing in the past. I don't know. But she was just like, okay, let's just sweep this under the rug and we'll talk about this in private later on. But Monica, being the real bitch that she is not down for that. You get what I'm saying? She's just like, no, like, why should we have to wait? I'm gonna tell you how I feel right now. And that is just kind of like, you can't be doing that all the time. And then the fact that she was just like, I'm going to be a better mom than my mom is, and X, Y, and Z. Like, look what you're showing your daughters. You're at a party. Everyone is enjoying their time. Her daughters are putting monies in their dresses. They're having a blast. And when it was time to go, one of the daughters went just like, hey, what about the Easter hunt? She was sad. They didn't want to leave. So, like, I know you're saying that it's like, yo, it sucks that, like, my mom was like X, Y, and Z, and I would never do that to my daughters. But the fact that you are constantly arguing with your mom and then just like going back and forth with other people at parties, your daughter sees that. They're probably just like, oh my God, I can't bring my mom around X, Y, and Z people because she was flat out embarrassed me, because every time we go out, she's always an embarrassment and always want to make things about her. We don't know, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what like goes on. So I just feel like Monica, she just needs to go to therapy in a nutshell. She needs to go to therapy and figure out the issues that she has with her mom. And her mom, I'm not saying her mom is like right, you know. Her mom got some shit with her too. But it doesn't like excuse the fact that like that whole thing being played out on Housewives is like corny, and for everyone and us, including myself, to put judgment on their relationship. Just go to therapy with your mom, figure it out, like, and move forward. Learn how to forgive. Don't let this pain harbor your heart, because you don't know later on in life that it could affect the relationship that you have with your daughters in the future. That's all I have to say. I mean, y'all may agree, y'all may not agree, but I just feel like, long story short, she needs therapy. She needs to figure out the issues that she has with her mom. And if she doesn't want to go to therapy and figure out the issues that she has with her mom, don't bring your mom to the show. That's it. All right, so let me know your thoughts of just like Monica's relationship with her mother, Angie, and the beautiful party that she had. Oh my God, the party. Father George. I'm just kidding. No, but like, just like everything else, let me know your thoughts about this episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Okay, bye.